Evening, everybody. It's late, 9 o'clock, 9:30, and this is your closing comment for today, Wednesday, the 7th. Um, Video number 1570. We had a couple of earnings reports today. We also started with a little bit of strength early. Primarily on the productivity and the unit labor cost. Productivity was actually up higher than was expected. It was up 8 tenths versus an expectation of up 7 tenths, and last month's up 3 tenths. So that was good. And the unit labor costs were actually down 2.4% from 3.5. So pretty decent activity that way. But it still ended up being pretty much a down day. But the Dow was actually up $1.58. I didn't even bother to see what the percent was. And the advanced declines there were roughly 1 to 1. Over on the NASDAQ, we were lower, down by 56 and change, which is a 0.5%. And the advanced declines there were 3 to 2 to the downside. Volume was 4.2 billion. That's a decline from the high a couple of days ago of over 5. I think 5.4. Yesterday, I think was 4.4. The day before that was 4.6. So we're kind of sliding here a little. The S&P was down $7.34. That's about 0.2%. The Russell was down $5.67 or 0.3, and the transportations were the biggest loser, down 130.21 or 9.94%. VIX was slightly higher at 2268, and that was up about 51 cents. So a little bit of action there. On the earnings front, we had Campbell's, CPB, Campbell's Pork and Beans. They did, in fact, beat, and the stock was actually pretty strong. 56.11, that's up 312 or 6%. So pretty decent. The high for that one was in 2016 at about 60 cents, but this is reasonably close to the $58 recovery high since then. So looking pretty good. Cutera, CUTR, that stock was down a bit. Let's see, it was 49.66 at the regular hour close. But then they're doing $100 million convertible notes to pay about 7.5 or 7.75 due 2029. And the street did not like that. They took it from that 49.66 all the way down to 41.55. The last was 42.75, and that was down $7.28 or 14%. Carvana, just a horrendous mess. Um, you know, I don't remember what the high was on the stock, but I'm going to look up CVNA. The high on the stock in August of 21, so about a year and a third, the high there was $375. Today's close was $3.91. That was down 42%, $2.80. The stock, which generally trades about 15 million, traded 120 million. And there's some talk that two of the biggest investors in the bonds look like they're trying to get together, which is unusual in and of itself, in order to secure their position in front of the public shareholders, who, I will warn you again now, when they go bankrupt, don't buy the stock. There's not going to be anything left. The last time we had this conversation, it was on, let's see, what was it on? not Hertz. I'm just trying to remember now, and I will in a moment. The last time that we had this conversation, I was trying to warn you off Revlon. Revlon had some really big run ups, and I kept on warning and warning and warning. Um, and unfortunately, people were still buying it at $8 and $10, and today it's 85 cents. Not worth the chance because it's probably going to be worthless. Um, Toll Brothers beat on earnings, and this morning when we looked at it, it was down 45 cents, trading right around the 45.70, actually down 24 cents. And they beat handily. They beat by $1.69 on earnings and on revenues. They beat a higher number of homes delivered, so pretty decent. And the street liked it. So from that $42 and change, uh, pardon me, not $42 and change, was it? It was $45 and change. The stock actually traded up as high as 49.81, and the last was 49.45, up 7.6%, $3.50. So that's where we are there. Tomorrow, it's Thursday. Thursday is claims day, so 8:30 for claims, continuing and initial. And remember, good news is bad news. And at 10:30, we have the EIA nat gas inventories. The oil inventories today were down a little over 5 million, nowhere near last week's 12.5 million, but still pretty healthy. And frankly, we had a pretty good day. Remember that we are in the UNG, which is the regular natural gas ETF, and we are in a spread, a 18 to 23 spread, which cost us $1. They're January's, and at the end of the day today, they closed at $2.35 for the ones we own, up 68 cents, $1.07 for the ones we don't own, up 34 cents. So that spread widened today by 34 cents. So pretty nice move for the day. Okay, oil is down a little all day today. Actually closed at 72.01, down 224. Tonight is up about 67 cents. This is an area where it really should hold. As you can see, it severely broke down again today, but it's also getting a little on the oversold side. And if we convert this to a weekly chart, you'll see this was the area where we broke out from. Pretty good support in here at $70. Also, the 200-day moving average, and as bad as it looks, it didn't look any better in the nat gas, and it turned on a dime today and really had a nice reversal. We got all the way down here to what I would call a triple bottom. One bottom, two bottoms, three bottoms, all right in that same 540, 535 area, which, if you look to the left here, you'll see was the last important breakout that basically took us from 5 3/4 pretty much straight up in 3 weeks to 828. So I'm kind of pleased with that. Bitcoin was down 220. The gold recovered a bit after yesterday's reversal, 1798, up $15.60. The dollar was down 45 cents. The bonds were up 1.5, and that was on that number one, the productivity side, and number two, the bad numbers coming out of China. So tonight, I think the bonds, last I saw, were down slightly, but I will look. Bonds down a half a point, so it's given up about a third of today's gain. All right, everyone. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Hope